Everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever part of the world you're joining me from. My name is Oluwayomi. It's such a joy to come your way this beautiful Thursday. And we're on Possibility Series with PY, and I'm still looking at the book, The Science of Getting Rich. Yes, that's the book we're still on, The Science of Getting Rich. And I'm going to be looking at 3 chapters today, and then next week we're going to be rounding off. So if you have not gotten this book, please, it's available in the local bookstore near you, but you can actually go to YouTube and listen to it. There's an audio version of the book right there on YouTube. Yes, good evening. Thank you everybody joining me. Thank you so much. I don't take your joining me for granted. It's Possibility Series with PY, and here we talk about money. Money, money. So we've been looking at about this book, The Science of Getting Rich, for the last 3 episodes. This is the fourth episode of reviewing this book. And we started from chapter 1, the right to be rich. And we said clearly that you have a right to be rich. God wants you rich. And I buttressed it with 3 John 2, that God wishes above all things that you prosper. So if anybody ever told you God wants you poor, it's not true. God wants you rich. But then in chapter 2, we talked about the science of getting rich. There's actually a science of getting rich. You don't get rich by happenstance. You don't get rich by luck. You don't even get rich by gamble. That's why those who win money via lottery, they never are able to keep it, because there's a science to getting rich. In chapter 3, the question is opportunity monopolized? Is it? And we agreed and said the answer is a capital no. And in chapter 4, we began to look at the very first principle of getting rich. And the very first principle of getting rich is in your thoughts. How are you thinking? What are you thinking? As a man thinks in his heart, so he is. So yes, what's your thought like? What are you thinking about? It's critical you ask yourself that question. What am I thinking about? What's my thought? If you think you are poor, you will stay poor. If you think you're rich, you will get rich. It starts in the mind. And like I will always say, if you think you can or you think you can't, like Henry Ford said, you are right. So the first principle of getting rich talked about your mindset. In chapter 5, increasing life. In chapter 6, how riches come to you. Chapter 7, gratitude. Chapter 8 went back to thinking in a certain way. Chapter 9, how do you use your will? Chapter 10, further use of your will. In chapter 11, talks about acting in a certain way, how you carry yourself, how you act, how you do things. In chapter 12, it talks about efficient in action. And so we're in chapter 13, getting into the right business. I know it's so interesting talking about getting into the right business, because you will recall I said that you can get rich in any business. It's not about a particular business. You can get rich in any location. It's not by a particular location. And the proof of that is in the fact that in a particular neighborhood, you have the rich, you have the poor. In every profession, you have the rich, you have the poor. So it's not about, oh, if I want to become rich, I have to become a doctor or an engineer or a business person. It's not about that. In every profession, some are rich, some are poor. So when it talks about getting into the right business, it sounds like a contradictory statement. I thought you said in every business you can get rich. What do you mean by getting into the right business? And it says, and I'll just read a portion of it. It says success in any particular business depends for one thing upon your possessing in a well-developed state the faculties required in that business. So for you to succeed in a particular business, you need the right faculties, the right tools in that business. Now, some people have argued that everybody is born for something. There's something that you naturally do well. There's something that you naturally excel in, and that for you to succeed, just get into that thing that you are good at naturally. But he argues that yes, the easiest way to get rich is developing yourself in that area that you are very good at. But peradventure, you don't like that area. You are not stuck on that area, because the truth is this: you can choose to develop yourself in any area. You only work harder in an area where you are not readily talented, but you can learn. Every gift can be learned. Every single gift can be learned. And it says, generally speaking, you will do best in that business which will use your strongest faculties, the one for which you are naturally best fitted. But there are limitations to this statement. No man should regard his vocation as being irrevocably fixed by the tendencies with which he was born. Don't regard your vocation as being irrevocably fixed by the tendencies by which you were born. It says you can succeed in any vocation because you can develop any rudimentary talent, and there is no talent of which you have not the least rudiment. All of us have a bit of something in us, and you can develop yourself in that area of business you are interested in. He said you will get rich most easily in the point of effort. So if you can do that for which you are best fitted, it will be easier. But that does not mean that that is the only area you can get rich. Doing what you want to do in life is the key. What do you want to do? Don't let people box you. Oh, Yomi, I know when you are growing up, you used to love to do this, so you are called to be this. Don't let anybody box you into that. What do you want to do? You will succeed doing what you want to do in life. And there is no real satisfaction in living if you are compelled to do something. Don't live by somebody else's judgment or compulsion. What do you want? What do you love to do? You might appear not as well gifted, but if you really want to do that thing, you will learn it, and because of your love for that thing, you will excel. It says desire is a manifestation of power. So all things being equal, it is best to select the business for which you have the easiest talent. I agree. But if you are getting a strong desire to engage in another area, please feel free. You only work harder. You are not obliged to do that which you do not like to do. Just, I don't like this, so but God has forced me. God has forced you to do nothing. He's left you to your will. You have a will and you have a right to exercise that will. So don't blame God if you don't do well. It's your choice. It's your exercise of your will. He said, don't be afraid to make a sudden and a radical change when the opportunity presents itself to you. Don't be afraid. Never take a sudden or radical action when you are in doubt of what to do. So let's balance it. Don't be afraid to do anything you want to do, but never, and I repeat again, never take a sudden and radical action when you are in doubt. You are not in a hurry. It says there is never hurry in the creative plane. There is never a lack of opportunity. We hurry when you feel competitive. Oh, don't let Yomi get there before me, because Yomi gets there before me, I'm able to get that thing. So let me run ahead of Yomi. You are not competing. You are creating. You only get in a rush when you are in a competitive plane. And it keeps saying to us again and again, you are not called to compete. You are called to create. When you get out of the competitive mind, you will understand that you never need to act hastily. Now, don't get it wrong. It's not saying, Ki Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. No. It's not telling you to sleep But it's saying you are not competing with anybody. You are on your lane. Run your race. You are on your lane. Run your race. The fact that somebody is ahead of you does not mean the person is going to take what belongs to you. It only looks ahead. Remember, you are in your race and you are the best God has created for that thing. So you are competing with nobody. So don't be in a hurry. If one space is taken, another one, and indeed a better one, will be opened for you a little further. You have plenty of time. So don't be in a hurry. Don't rush. Don't compete. But again, maximize your time. Remember last week, talked about doing the best every day. Let every day be your best day. Give in your best to every day. So you are not slacking, but you are not competing. It's a life of balance. He went on to say, mistakes come from acting hastily, or from acting in fear or doubt, or in forgetfulness of the right motive, which is more of life to all and less to none. More of life to all and less to none, because they're not in competition. You are doing everything that everybody wants. You are making everybody feel good. Your joy is to see everybody succeed. Remember, God says, I wish above all things that you, every single one of us, prospers. There is enough for everybody. Life, God has everything set for us. Every one of us can be multi-millionaires. You don't need mine to have more. I don't need yours to have more. There is enough supply around for every one of us. It says, do all that you can do in a perfect manner every day, but don't hurry, don't be in a haste, and don't fear. Go as fast as you can, but never hurry. It says, remember that in the moment you begin to hurry, you cease to be a creator, you become a competitor. The moment you begin to hurry, you cease being a creator, you become a competitor. It says, whenever you find yourself hurrying, just call a halt. Fix your attention again on your core. Exercise gratitude. And when you get into the mode of gratitude, it never fails. It strengthens your faith, it renews your purpose. So when you get into that place of hurry, just slam on the brakes and get to an attitude of thanksgiving and focus on your why. In chapter 14, it talks about the impression of increase. And it says you can get into the business you want by making constructive use of the business you already have in your hands. And I love that. Don't wait until every condition is right to be your best. Don't wait until you get into that dream business to be your best. Don't wait until you get into that dream job to be your best. Where you are now, be your best. What you are doing now, be your best. That business you are currently in now, give it your best shot. Give it your best now. When you form the habit of always being your best, you will discover that you always give people the best service. Always be the best. Always be the best wherever you find yourself. So the desire for increase is inherent in everybody, in every creature. It is fundamental impulse of the universe. So everyone wants increase. You are not the only one. People are seeking more food, more clothes, better shelter, more luxury, more beauty, more knowledge, more pleasure. Everybody wants increase in life. You are not alone. Everybody wants increase. But the truth of the matter is this: you are not competing with anyone. So it says to you, no matter how small the transaction, even if it's selling one stick of candy, even if it's selling one pen, whatever it is you are doing, put into it the thought of increase and make sure that your customer is impressed with the thought of increase. If all you're doing is to just sell this pen, give it your best. Sell it as if you are selling gold. Sell it joyfully. Sell it happily. Let the buyer be excited buying from you, and you're on your way to increase. Do everything that you do in the firm conviction that you're advancing personality. Do everything that you do in the firm conviction that you are an advancing personality and you are giving advancement to everybody. Let your goal be to make everybody succeed. Your goal is to make everybody better. Every time you are doing something for somebody, put in your best that the person cannot get it better anywhere else. It says, do not boast or brag of your increase. Don't even talk about it unnecessarily. True faith is never boastful. There's something my bishop says that comes to mind now, Bishop Michael Okonkwo. He will say, if you want to live, live. If you want to die, die. Just give it your best. So if you're alive, be full of life, be joyful, live. If you want to die, die. But as long as you are alive, put everything, put your all in what you're doing. That talks about passion. Be passionate about everything you are doing. Be efficient every time. Be effective every time. Put into every day all that day needs to succeed. That when the day is done and you look back at your day, you are happy at everything you have done that day. Always put your best foot forward. Always give it your best shot. Always give it your best attention. It says, whenever you find a boastful person, you find somebody who is secretly doubtful and afraid. Whenever you find a boastful person, you have found somebody who is secretly in doubt and afraid. Words will not be necessary to communicate this feeling to others, that you are good, that you are excellent. The feeling they get around you, the air around you will tell them that you are that person they want to hang around. So take a honest pride in doing this and let everybody know it, that every time you do something, you give it your best shot. So by doing all this, never lose sight of your vision. Never lose sight of what you want. Never lose sight of your faith. Never lose sight of your purpose. Never, and it keeps saying this and it bears repetition. Never fall into temptation to seek power over men. Don't look for how to use your power over another person. Use your power over yourself. One thing you need your willpower for is to get yourself doing the right thing at the right time, in the right place, with the right people, efficiently. So when you are feeling sleepy, but you know you ought to be reading, use your willpower to get yourself to read. When you are feeling very lazy, I know you need to get out on a walk, on an exercise, use your willpower on yourself to get yourself to go out on the walk. Don't try to use your willpower on somebody else. Don't try to lord or rule over somebody else. Don't. The desire to rule for selfish gratification has been the curse of the world, and we're even seeing it in what is going on in the world today. It says the mind that seeks for mastery over others is the competitive mind, and the competitive mind is not a creative one. The mind that seeks for mastery over others is the competitive mind, and the competitive mind is not the creative mind. So beware of competition. The moment you are comparing, even the Bible says is, he that compares himself with himself is not wise. And I'm sure you want to be wise. So in chapter 15, the advancing man, it says, if you can give increase of life to others and make them sensible of the fact, then they'll be attracted to you and you will get rich. Remember, money is in people. Money is a means of exchange. When people know that you have their best interest at heart, when people know that you want them to succeed, when people know that you want them to be all that they want to be, they will be attracted to you. Yes, passion, You just must be a person driven by passion. So what does it say? It says the law of increase of life is a mathematically certain, is as mathematically certain in its operation as the law of gravitation. Getting rich is an exact science. It says do not feel that you have no chance to get rich because you are working where there is no visible opportunity for advancement. Do not feel that you have no chance to get rich because you are working where there is no visible opportunity for advancement or where wages are small and the cost of living is high. Form your clear mental vision of what you want and begin to act with faith and purpose. You might be in that place today, but let that not define you. Have a mental picture of where you want to be and begin to act with faith and with purpose. Do all the work you can do every day and do each piece of work in a perfectly successful manner. Put the power of success and the purpose to get rich into everything that you do. Even if you are a cleaner, clean as if life depends on it. Always give your best shot. If you can consistently do this, you will discover that you would move. Opportunities will open up to you. You might be a cleaner today, but opportunities will come to you that will take you to the next level. But it says this, and sincerely, I want everybody to listen to this. If you have not been listening to me all the while, just stop and listen. It says this, and it's on page 103. If you want to just 105, if you want to just jump and go and look at it. It says, the man who is merely a good workman, filling his place to the very best of his ability, and satisfied with this, is valuable to his employer and is not to the employer's interest to promote him. He is worth more where he is. Did you hear that? The man who is merely a good workman, filling his place to the very best of his ability and satisfied with that, is valuable to his employer. But guess what? It is not to the employer's interest to promote him. Why? You're satisfied where you are. You are giving it your best and you are satisfied. But listen, it says to secure advancement, something more is necessary than to be just too large for your place. The man who is certain to advance is the one who is too big for his place, one, and who has a clear concept of what he wants to be. He has a vision. He has a vision. He has a vision of what he wants to be. And he knows he can become what he wants to be and is determined to be what he wants to be. So he's good. He knows what he wants to be and is determined to be what he wants to be. So he's good where he is. He has a vision and is driven by vision. Do not try to feel more than your present place with a view to pleasing your employer. Don't do it so that your employer will say, oh, wow, Yomi is doing a very good work. So at the end of year awards, they clap for you and give you an award. If that is the reason why you are doing all that you are doing, is waste of time. Don't do it for your employer's applause. Don't do it for your colleagues' applause. Don't do it for your superiors' applause. Why should you give in your best? Do it with the idea of advancing yourself. When you are improving yourself, it's for your own good. It's not for your employer. When you are pushing yourself and driving your excellence machine, it's for your own good. So don't think it's for anybody. Do it for yourself. And he went on to say, there is a science of getting rich, and you become rich if you are not too intellectually slothful to practice it. So opportunities will speedily come if you keep working, and God will bring these opportunities to you if you never give up. Do not wait for an opportunity to be all that you want to be. When an opportunity to be more than you are now is presented and you feel impelled towards it, take it. Don't wait until you get that dream job When the next opportunity come, take it. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Step by step, you will get there. Wow, our time is fast spent. I will stop on chapter 16. Wow, it's so much to talk about in this book. Says many people will scoff at the idea that there is an exact science of getting rich. Many will hold the impression that the supply of wealth is limited, and they will insist that the social and governmental institutions must be changed before any considerable number of people can acquire competence. Don't think like that. Don't think the conditions must be right for you to get rich. Don't fall into that school of thought. Don't wait for your government. Don't wait for your boss. You are a creator. Begin to create something. Says, whenever you fall into the old way of thinking that you need to compete, that you need to wait for government, that you need to wait for your employer, whenever you fall into that old way of thinking, correct yourself immediately. Now you are trying to start a new journey. You are putting on a new mindset. You are trying out something new. You can't be perfect overnight. Sometimes you will sleep. Sometimes you'll fall back into that mode, but catch yourself and move on. You are becoming a citizen of another kingdom. So when you find yourself falling behind, catch yourself and move on. Understand, no matter how tremendous an obstruction may appear at a distance, you will find out that if you go close on it, there is a way out. Either it disappears, or you find a way through the sides, or you find a way to go through it. Like I put out a post recently and I asked, what do you see? An obstacle or a stepping stone? What are you saying? If you say that, wow, look at that huge stone, I can never climb it. It stays as a huge stone in front of you, as an obstacle in front of you, and trust me, you will never climb it. But you say, oh, wow, look at this stone. It's so big, I can climb it and see further. Guess what? With that mindset, as you approach the stone, your mind will tell you how you can go around it, how you can go through it, or how you can climb on it and see further. Are you seeing an obstacle? Are you seeing a stepping stone? It's your choice. If you hold on to your faith, you find out that failure is only apparent. Never hold on to failure. Never. Never admit the possibility of failure or speak in a way that infers that failure is a possibility. Guard your speech. Remember, you are snared by the words of your mouth. What are you saying? Ah, the country is hard. Ah, the world is difficult. Ah, can I ever get rich? If that is all you are saying, you can never get it. Guard your speech. Never admit the possibility of failure. Never speak of the times as being hard or the business condition as being doubtful. You can create what you want and you can live above fear. When others are having hard times and poor businesses, you can find your greatest opportunities. Train yourself to think of and to look upon the world as something that is becoming. Always speak in terms of advancement. To do otherwise is to deny your faith, and to deny your faith is to lose it. So I'll round off this evening by talking to you finally of this paragraph. That's now let me take it from where you will understand it. It says, never allow yourself to feel disappointed. You may expect to have a certain thing at a certain time and not get at this time. It will appear to you like a failure. So, but if you hold on to your faith, you'll find out that failure is only apparent. Failure is not failure. Failure is only apparent. When you understand the fact that all things work together for your good, when things don't seem to happen the way you want it, you just simply turn into gratitude and thank God for a bigger, better door opening for you. No matter where you are today, you can be bigger, better, and stronger. If you can think it, you can be it, and you can have it. And that's it for today. Our time is fast spent. Let's see again next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. West African time, as we conclude on the book, The Science of Getting Rich. To everyone that is watching this broadcast now, thank you for giving me a share of your time. Please like this video, share it, let somebody know that Possibility Series with PY is on air. And for those that will watch after now, thank you for giving me a share of your time. And never forget it. Together we win. God bless you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we are going to come out bigger, better, and stronger. Have a lovely evening. Have a good night, and have a great weekend ahead. Tomorrow is Friday, and it's weekend. See you next week, Thursday, in another edition of Possibility Series with PY as we round off this book, The Science of Getting Rich. God bless you. Bye for now.